Hey everyone, this is Shanae with SBS Hair Studios, also known as Styles by Shanae. I have my girl here that we're gonna hit that part right there, that we're gonna go ahead and do some extensions on. And as you can see that so far her braid down is very simple. Cornrows going in the back, attached to the nape of the hair, connecting together. And this is one of my significant clients, love her to death, been with me for years. This particular client has alopecia, but she still has cuticles and follicles that I'm able to work with. So what I normally do is I'll create sometimes a custom wig for her, or we'll give her individuals. And I know you guys are like, how does she get individuals? But I'll try to add in a snippet of a picture of some individuals that we done recently and show you what the fill-in process was for her scalp area. This particular time we're gonna go with she wants extensions. So we have a closure. We're trying out some new hair. We are in the state of California, and this is the hair. It's by Outre Indian Remy. And let's see. Let me turn it back this way. It's wet and wavy. So we're gonna go ahead and try. It's supposed to be able to go straight too as well. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and add the net over her hair. I love to secure the hair with a net. And the reason for that is because when the extensions grow out, it doesn't grow out looking like a hat or get too full because of the new growth underneath. It kind of keeps everything still laid flat, although there is going to be some new growth. So at this point, go ahead and pick up that net right there and show them. This is my preference right here. Let me zoom in on you right there. Just stay right there. Okay, so at this time I have a preference of my weaving net. And you can see the net right here in my client's hand, but let me bring this a little closer. This is my preference. It's blue, weaving net. I tell all my clients just that. What do I say? Blue pack, weaving net.
Every time.
That's it. And when they say, I don't know which one, I'm like, look, I made it very simple. The package is blue with a little bit of red, and it says weaving net. So at this point, we're going to go ahead and get started and apply the net. I wasn't going to so much show you guys how to install the net, but I do want to give you a helpful tip. The tip is, the tighter you have your client pull on the net, the tighter it will be on their head. And then when you apply or install the extensions, that is tight. So, oh my God, the baby's falling off. Okay, that was a distraction, you guys. The TV's on and I saw something. So, however, what I was saying is, don't have your client taunt on the net so tight, because that produces tension alopecia, and it gives them headaches, the head throbs. So you can secure the net just relaxingly at a level where you tell them the more you pull, the tighter it's going to be installed. But the less they pull, the more comfortable that the net is, and the more comfortable your extensions are, and you don't have that so much, 3-day wait before it loosens up. I do know that we like the black woman's facelift on that. I understand that part is the best, when it's fresh. But just so that we don't pull out our edges or the nape of our hair, we want to be careful for how we apply the net as far as how tight it is. So we'll be back in just a second. At this point, I have the net that you probably can't see so good because it's see-through, but I have the net. It's really long, and that's the reason why I like it. She can get more than one use out of it. And I shape it to the crown, the shape of her head, and you see how I have her holding the net, which is very important. And then I tug as I go around, and then I go ahead and thread and apply it on. So I'll apply it and then we'll be back. Okay, you guys, I've already pretty much put in her hair about 3 tracks. And the way that I'm doing it is without cutting the hair, because there isn't really a major need for me to cut it just yet. And when I say cut the hair, I mean cut the tracks. So right now I'm just going back and forth. I started down in the nape area on the sides, because this length is the 18 inches and we want this length to be on the bottom so that it could show the length. And then we'll go higher up. So pretty much I'm just going in a U shape. And I'm just tucking my needle through it. and making sure that it's going to continue to lay flat. Sorry if my arm is in the way. And some people, when they install extensions, they go under, like this way. But it doesn't per se matter, as long as you have your, you see how flat it is? That's your whole point. You want your tracks to lay flat so it can look naturally like it's grown from the scalp as your natural hair. So this is how I'm just going to continue to go. And I don't stretch my thread far apart from each other. I try to be very consistent in the distance away. And that's so that no buckling happens while the client is combing their hair, because clients they don't comb the hair or care for the hair like we do out of our presence, because we know what it's like to install it, and we know the mishaps. So they pretty much comb it vigorously. And we're a little more gentle, where we stay off the tracks and we only go on the hair. But because they're coming up where there's other hair gonna be, they just keep brushing and brushing, and that goes ahead and has tendencies to loosen up the tracks. So then they have to come back and get a service to make sure that it's tightened. And a lot of times tighten doesn't mean like making sure that the extensions are tight. It just means reapplying or reinforcing the thread. So I'm going to keep going around to this other part of the front. Consistent. You want the hair from the left to the right, back to the front, to be consistent. So I don't want to put less amount on the right hair and then all the weight is going to be on the right side. No, you want to make sure you do it evenly. And once you get down to the end of the track where there's a certain amount of hair that's left, but it can't be applied from ear to ear or from level to level, whatever you're doing, what you want to do is you want to go in the middle part of that gap of the hook area, and you want to apply that part of the extension. Like, I have this much left. I know I could probably go back 2 more times. But if I have like a certain amount left, like this much, I'm just going to go in here and fill in the gap. Or I'm going to take this piece off and save it for another place where I could install it, where it's going to be done evenly. So even distribution is very important when applying, installing extensions. So as you can see, I'm taking it all the way to the point where I did on that side, making sure that it's uniform and it meets at that point. Because I'm done with my thread, I'm gonna take this off. But before I do it, I wanted you guys to see how I do a double knot twice around, pull through, it's tight, reinforcement, I go over another space, and I triple knot. 1, 2, 3, pull through. And then I'm going to take my shears. Because I'm a stylist, I use proper terminology. These are shears. I'm going to take my shears and I'm going to get as close to the knot as possible. And I'll rethread that needle later with the rest of them. So now I'm going to take this piece of hair and I'm just going to come back. I'm not going to cut it. I'm going to come back down here like this. I'm going to thread this. I'm going to come back on this side and I'm going to thread this. And this is what I'm going to have what's left. So with the remainder amount, I'll find somewhere to put it. I'll get back to you guys in just a second. Okay, you guys, now I'm getting to the second layer of everything that I'm doing on my client. Now, I wanted to show you guys a little bit close up where I'm at with her process. And my client is not the first, nor is she the last person who has to deal with alopecia at an early age. For some reason, a lot is going on. But thank God for extensions and the ability to kind of help her strengthen her hair by telling her more frequently to oil her scalp. But as you can see right here in her temples, her hairline has thinned out as well. And it could be a lot of different reasons, okay? But we've noticed that there's been an increase of hair loss right there. It could be from stress, it could be from what we're eating, it could be from tension, from braids, from the extensions. It could be a variety of things. It could be also blood, relating to her blood. It could be a vitamin deficiency, what I'm trying to say, inside of her blood. So however, at this point, I just wanted to showcase to you guys that the extensions that I'm applying, as you saw how I did the braid down, they're now beginning to cover. Every layer that I go up, it's beginning to cover her sides. And as you can see, it is applied securely. So we're in the U section. Let me turn this way. We're in the U section. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start back here. I'm going to start filling this in with the 14, going straight across like this until I get to the very apex of her head, and then I'll take a different formation of how I'm going to install the extensions. So I just wanted to show you guys how the front look and also where I'm at in the back as far as my placement, and I want you to stay tuned. Okay everybody, I'm at the very top of Julie's, my client's head. Edit that part. Cut. Okay, wait, we're gonna cut.